Guys, is my screen visible now?
Yes.
Okay, great, fantastic. So let's proceed further. So let's begin with our today's session. So we have already gone through some presentation from the earlier sessions as well. So let's take up some brush up from the earlier session. So how was the flow and how those things get work. So let me open that as well, and we'll get some flow of the flow from the previous session as well. Okay, can you guys see my new presentation here?
Yes.
Okay, great. So let me brief you about the earlier session as well, so that you can connect our today's session as well. So we have came across with the configuration management tool. We call it as Ansible. So this helps us to automate our and automatically by using some playbooks and using some modules. We usually try to deploy or you can say different modules to our remote machines. So let me take you to the flow of the architecture here. Yeah. So here basically this flow starts from the user queries. You can say use the user initially write some playbook in the YAML configuration file, and which is later on uh, uh, got some advantage of using some modules into that playbook. So we'll start writing some playbooks. In that you will get to understand more into deeply that what are all those such modules and how we can use those modules. And in the inventory is nothing but this is a file where we exactly store the information of the remote machines, so that are nothing but your cloud machines, or you can say in other terms. So and the rest are, you can say, they are optional components, like if you have your cloud into a private subnet. So in that case, you should be able to get the access of those into your via your VPN configuration. And thereafter there are some networks that are attached, because when you want to access your machine which is remotely stored into some private network, so in that case you should able to attach some network to it. So these are some optional part if your machine is you can say stored in some private network. So in that case you should use these two modules, you can say these two functions. And the rest, you can say, user starts from here. He will write some playbooks, or you can say, to execute some certain task into the remote machine. So there might be multiple remote machine, or you can set 50 to 100 remote machines. So if you want to perform any file sharing task, or you can say if you want to share one single file to hundreds of machines, so this has been possible with the help of Ansible DevOps tools, we call it as. So that all sort of scripts have been written in this playbook file, which is written under the YAML syntax. So we'll get to know how we can write those YAML files. So before that,
Excuse me, just a question.
yeah.
What is the CMDB? DB is a database, but what is CMDB?
So this is kind of additional database. You can say
Database.
customer manage. Yeah, this is additional database which is attached to it. Like if you want to pull out some data from another databases, so you can attach those databases into your master machine as well. So this is also, you can say, this is also a part of optional feature of the Ansible. So
Okay.
if you have stored your file into some different database, and you want to pull those information from that database, and you want to push those files into some hundreds of remote machines, so that you can do with that with the help of Ansible. So are you guys clear with these?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So let me take you to the modules. What are the modules are there in the Ansible? So there you can see there are some. This is basically the control node, which is, you can say, in other terms, these are your Ansible master controls. So this is your Ansible master machine, and it is having some modules control. In that, there are two ways of hitting some commands and using some modules to your remote machine. By using you should be able to write some sort of YAML syntax of playbook, or in other terms you can use the ad hoc commands. So ad hoc are nothing but these are the one-liner command. So this is basically you just need to write one single line of command, and based on that, let's say you want to copy one file from the master machine to hundreds of the host machine, sorry, remote machine. So you just need to write some one-liner command for it, and your required will be fulfilled by that. But usually recommend to write the playbook, because these playbooks can be used of you can say for recursive times. You just don't need to again and again write these one-liner command and again. You can write some sort of playbooks, and you can use for future times as well. So that's why we recommend to write some playbooks for that. So if your task is very small, in that case, you usually go for ad hoc commands. But if you have a very big task to perform in your remote machine, so those have been done with the writing those scripts into
So,
the yeah.
so for example, can I say that I can use an ad hoc command for, say, deleting something or copying a file, but in case if I
Exactly.
have to install a package, I can use playbooks?
No. Ad hoc command does the same thing. Uh,
Okay,
yeah, does the same thing, but it has a bit of limitation. You can say it can't handle multiple tasks here. So, yeah, if you want to perform a small sort of task, you can use the ad hoc command. But for handling multiple tasks, packages, and meanwhile you want to make some installation of those packages, so these are, like, you can say, these are multiple tasks you want to perform. So in that case, it is recommended to use the playbooks.
okay.
Yeah. So moving further, these are the modules which we exactly use in our playbooks and the ad hoc commands. So these are the some few modules. There are many more modules available in the Ansible as well. So this is one of the very famous module, which is a ping module, which helps us to get the communication, or you can say get the connection establishment between the remote machine, like in the form of your remote machine is running or not. So that can be checked with the help of this ping module. So similarly, there are some copy modules as well. So in the coming session, I further will get into it. We'll try to make some playbooks for uh, uh, using these such modules, like copy modules or setup, or we can use yum modules as well. Yep, guys, are you clear with that?
So does Yum have the same role as in Linux as a package manager here?
Yeah, exactly. This is the same role of installing any packages with
Okay,
the help of, yeah. Similarly, there are apt as well, apt, which helps
okay.
to install the packages into the Ubuntu machine.
Ubuntu, yeah.
Yeah, these are some limited. The space was very less, so that's why we have provided some limited famous modules here. So there are many more modules which we have not displayed here.
Okay.
Yeah. So moving further. Yeah. So now we'll go with the flow of the Ansible master, how this master machine works. So, okay, yeah. So this is your main, you can say, Ansible master machine, and there you have installed your Ansible package, or you can say Ansible package, which is installed in one of those master machine. And these are your rest of the remote machine. We call it as, or you can say, this might be stored into any of your cloud, like AWS, GCP, Azure cloud. So these are the clouds where you have all stored these machines. So now, basically, you want to perform some task, or you can say you want to make some configuration to these such remote machine. Let's say you want to install some packages into these different environment machines. So these machines are having different environments. So we might have a case like some machine are using some CentOS based environment. So we all know that CentOS uses Yum package manager to install the packages. Similarly, on the other hand, the Ubuntu machine uses apt as to install the package manager, or you can say to packages into the Ubuntu based environment. So there are in Fedora there are some RPM package manager which is used to install the packages into the Fedora based uh, Linux operating system. So these are also one of the operating system. We call it as Fedora. There are some other operating system which is open source. So these are all the Linux operating system having different flavors of it. But here you can see we have attached three component to the master Ansible master machine. There you can see one is the Ansible Playbook and another is Ansible inventories, and the rest is you can say the host. So host and the inventory are the same thing. So I've already given you the overview idea about the playbooks as well. This is the same playbooks where we exactly write our playbook, and we usually store it into our master machine. And with this playbook, we usually try to execute those playbook into these such remote machines. So I'm considering different environment here. There might be multiple remote machine, like let's say I'm using 20 of the machine of CentOS based environment, and let's say I'm using 10 of the machines for Ubuntu based environment. So there might be different counter of this, but there for this works for different environment as well. So we can use different package manager for installing the packages into the different environments. So this is how this workflow, or you can say this follows this structure of installing the configuration into the remote machines.
What hosts is it? Because the inventory file itself is the host file.
Yeah, they both are the same because
It's the same.
yeah,
Okay.
they both are the same. You can create your own custom inventory file, you can say, which does the same thing. Let's say you want to create a different file for the host, and you have different machine, and you don't want to disclose it into the one single file of the host. So you can create multiple inventory for that. Let's say
Okay.
yeah, so let's say you want to segregate the AWS machine. Let's say you want to let's say you want to segregate the host information of the AWS based cloud. Let's say in AWS based cloud, you have stored 10 of the machine, and you want to store the information of these 10 machine into one different inventory file, or you can say one different host files. So this host file is by default created into your Ansible master machine, but you can customize your host information by creating another host file as per your according to needs. You can create your own inventory file as well.
Okay.
Yeah, the by default is taken considered as this one, but
Mhm.
if you want to use some different inventory file, you can call it by using some different flags. So that also will check into while running or deploying our playbooks. So I will show you how to call your customized inventory file. So that have been called by the help of -i flag. So that's the thing. Okay. So hitting the target machine, the very first task is to how this Ansible master machine will hit the target machine. So in that, the question arises in your mind, like how this Ansible master machine will communicate with the target machine. So this is done with the help of SSH command. So SSH command is already installed in the every machine. You can say while you hit SSH command, you can get the access of those machine by giving some username and some IP address, and below that you can, if there is any password assigned to it, you can provide the password there. Or rest you can use some in the AWS cloud. You can use some key pair file. We call it as .pem file. So these are some different techniques of getting access to your remote machine. So in similar way,
So it
Ansible,
is
yeah.
like creating multiple AWS instances.
No. The machine is already created, and you want to access those machines. So how this Ansible master machine will get the access of it? So these have been done with the help of SSH. So
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to additionally install any kind of packages to get the access uh, to your remote machine. So
Mm-hmm.
SSH is already installed in every machine. You can say every operating system and in the world, you can say, which is present. You can say so. SSH is already installed, which is running on the port 22.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with the help of that SSH and that port only, the Ansible master machine will try to hit those remote machines.
Okay.
So you don't need to install any kind of agent into your remote machine. So this is, you can say, this is very much agentless Ansible configuration management tool. So you don't need to install any additional agent to your remote machine. You can directly get into it any of your remote machine by providing some information into your host file, or you can say some inventory files. So that information is nothing but to provide your username and your IP addresses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there are some prerequisite things have been required to set up those remote machine. So your remote machine should know that you are very well known, or you can say remote. These are my remote machines. There you can say below one, and this machine should know that this master machine is well known for them. So in this case, you need to share uh, the public key of this master machine to all the rest of the remote machine, so that these remote machine can be well aware that this master machine, or you can say this Ansible master machine, is very well known for them. So then and then only it will allow to get the access of this remote machine. So for that case, we need to use this SSH copy hyphen ID command and the username and the IP address. So with this command, with this command, we need to hit this command into your Ansible master machine, or you can say
Okay.
Ansible controller machine. And under this, we need to provide the IP addresses of the rest of these machines. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll make you well aware with the flow of this later on the presentation as well. You will get a brief idea about how these things work. So as I've already discussed, these are some modules. Like I'm using ping modules here. So this ping is one of the modules which we are using here. Similarly, there are some setup modules. So the modules is represented by using some flags, which is a hyphen n flag. So these are nothing but these are the ad hoc command. So this is your one-liner ad hoc command. We call it as ad hoc command. And if you write your playbook, that playbooks have been written into your YAML script. So these are nothing but your ad hoc command, which is a one-liner command. This will make you the output based on your one-liner command. So here you can see it is trying to gather the OS information of your machines by filtering the Ansible distribution. And later the third ad hoc command is showing you the disk information of that remote machine. So here all is nothing but it is the information of which host you want to hit. So here it is considering the all host. So this information is provided under this uh, host files, or you can say the inventory files. So this syntax been pulled out from the host files, and this using the hyphen m flag. Let me erase this. Yeah. So this is the information of the host file to which host you are trying to target it. So here I am taking all the host machines here. So here I am targeting all the hosts. If I have created some groups into my host, let's say I have created some developer groups, so I need to write those groups name here. So what it will does, basically it will try to hit only to that specific groups of the developer, and it will try to perform all these modules into that specific group. Yep, guys, am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. So, uh, am I guys clear?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So as in the host file, I've already discussed what host file stores. Basically, it stores the information of the machine, which we can group them by some certain limited machines, and we can set up some range of those machines as well. Let's say we have continuous IP from ending with from 1 to 100. So we don't need to provide the full IP individually on the single line. We can use the range function, so we just need to provide the IP from 1 to hyphen hyphen 100. So it will directly consider for by that one single IP, or you can say one single line. It will consider all the range of the IP from that machine. So this is a short way of defining your host information into your host files. Yeah, this is you can say one of the adapt commands we are trying to get into it. So we have already discussed about the host adapt commands as well. So moving further, let me get back to your Ansible playbooks. So later on, we'll get into it how we can write our playbook in the YAML file. So Ansible playbooks are written in the YAML, and this is, we can say, they follow some YAML syntax. So we'll make sure you to how we can write our YAML syntax as well. So there are some difference of writing the configurations into different structured notation as well. So one of them, there are XML, we can say XML format where we can write our configurations. So XML is bit of, you can say, um, gen-
Hello?
yeah, hello.
You're breaking. Your voice is breaking.
Okay, okay, one second. Is it now clear?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I was telling that we can write the configurations into different configuration techniques, like using XML, JSON, or YAML. So these are different ways of writing your configurations. So now, as of now, Ansible supports the YAML configurations. So there you can see the difference between these different configurations files. So we are now focusing on the YAML because our Ansible supports the YAML configuration files. So we'll get into it how these configuration files have been written here. So basically, YAML is nothing but this is yet another markup language. This is also one of the markup language, and you can see this is used to represent the data, or you can say to define the configuration data, which allows you to indentation for writing the configuration. Because basically, indentation is nothing but to you might have heard while writing the Python programming, you need to well aware of indentation function, or you can say providing the indentation into your Python programming. So based on that indentation, your actual function works. Like if you have provided some function, and those function are let's say inside those function you have defined some methods into it, and those methods should be inside to that specific functions. So in that case, we try to use those indentation, we try to use some tabs to it, can say we try to use some spaces in between. So while we write out configuration, we need to be well aware of the very basic thing is the key value pair. So let's say you are considering a fruit, and the fruit information should be provided in this such way. Yeah. So like you're taking a fruit and you need to provide some apple. This is your fruit, and similarly vegetables. You need to provide some information. So this is a basic idea about the keys and the value pair. So you can define any category, and you can get the value of that specific category. So similarly, if you want to provide multiple fruits, so you should be aware of using this such syntax of categorizing those fruits. Like you might have multiple fruits here. So how you can write those multiple fruits? So you can use some list, or you can say some arrays. So here, as of now, they are using the array by using hyphen sign. So this hyphen sign represent that you are trying to store some data into some array format. So let's say similarly, we might have multiple vegetables. So in this, there you can say they have used some multiple vegetables name followed by using some array functions here. So you just need to be aware of you should start with a new line, starting with the hyphen sign, and thereafter you're giving one space, and you can start up with providing the values of that specific key. So in my case, the vegetable is my key, and there are multiple values which is provided to this keys. So these are nothing but the carrot, cauliflower, and the tomato. So similarly, in the dictionary you can describe your each specific banana, or you can say each specific values of that YAML file. So this is basically to get you understood. This is a simple example. So while we write some playbooks, you can well aware into it. So in our example, how we usually define our modules in it, how we define our host file, host information to it. So this will be much easier to understand, because this is example which is very far different to us. But
So it's
just
like the Docker YAML file system hierarchy.
yeah, that
Will
follows the
you
same
explain?
hierarchy. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So while we write our playbooks, single playbooks, there you will get to know in well better way. So let me take up to some simple task here. So is my this presentation available? Is it
Yeah.
visible? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I was taking an example of let's say we have hundreds of remote servers, and we want to perform some packages installation to these machines. So basically, let's say we have a scenario of installing some packages. We call it as Vim and wget packages into all the servers. Like in my case, I'm considering 100 of the servers, which is nothing but the remote server. So what we traditionally used to do is we go into each server and log into each server, check for that package is already installed in it or not. And the third step was to check for the that if the package is not installed, we need to install it by using that their operating system package manager. So it is using yum install the package name, and similarly, this takes a process of at least 6 minutes of for only one machine. There you can imagine for doing this process for hundreds of the remote server, this will take you to up to 600 of minutes, and which is equal to a 10 hour of or you can say a day of work you are doing for performing these small tasks. So this is nothing but to install the two packages and to check whether these two packages are installed into these machines or not. There you can say you can calculate the time, how much it is taking while the traditional way we followed in the previously. So while after the Ansible came into the picture, this time it's been reduced. You can say uh, uh, by using this configuration tool, which is Ansible, which is you can say just with writing some sort of playbooks which execute a task in all servers parallelly. So it takes only 3 minutes of time to complete those tasks. There you can imagine how fast this process has been now with the help of Ansible. You're just taking a three only 3 minutes of time to perform all the tasks into the hundreds of the machine parallelly. Basically, Ansible master machine will try to hit those remote machine parallelly. You can say it will try to hit multiple machine at the same time. So let me take you to a simple example here. There you can see this is my Ansible master machine or Ansible control or Ansible engine. So it can give any name here, but the main concept is to understand what this master machine will perform into the remote machine, or you can say the servers. So this master machine has the information in the form of inventory or in the form of host, which is storing the IP addresses of your remote server. So these are your remote machine. There you can see on the right hand side, these are your information of your remote machine. So there you can say every machine has its own IP, and each machine having its own IP with some different Unix IP, and those IP information is provided to this master machine's inventory file. There you can see the 1110 and 120 and 132. So these are the IPs of these remote machines. So with this, what this Ansible controller machine will does, it will try to use the SSH operation to get into the access of these machine, and it will try to perform all those commands and all those modules which is written in the playbooks. So it will try to execute it this way. Yeah, are you guys getting it?
Yeah.
How this? Yeah. So this is the beauty of the flow, how this Ansible works.
So hypothetically, if there was a agent, then it would take more time.
Yeah, usually, basically, the Ansible takes. Usually, there are other tools where we use some agents, but in this case, it is way much agentless server where we don't require to install any kind of agent to your remote server. This Ansible master machine itself will try to fulfill all those requirements to install all the packages into your remote machine. So there is no additional requirement to install it into your remote machine. So these all the things have been done by the Ansible master machine itself.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let me take you to how we can write our simple task to install the those two packages. So starting with the three hyphen sign. So this represents that we are trying to write our playbook in our YAML syntax. So similarly, for writing the playbooks, for writing the YAML file for the Docker, we usually started with the providing the versions. So and the rest thing, as you can say, the rest thing, or you can say the hierarchy is the same in the YAML file, but to categorize, or you can say to specify your which play, or you can say which type of YAML file you are using. So in this case, Ansible has tried to modify its own way of YAML. So they have started with uh, providing the starting initial point with hyphen hyphen sign, or you can say you can start with giving one single hyphen as well. That too works in this case. So this shows that you are writing some sort of playbook in the YAML file. So your YAML file should also understand that which type of configuration you are writing. So in the Docker also we have tried to use the YAML file, but it should be categorized that which type of YAML file you are writing. So in this way, Ansible has patent for using this hyphen 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 sign, or you can say starting with hyphen sign. That to work for the initializing with your writing your playbook into your YAML. So moving further, so we need to provide the host information. So host is nothing but these are your information which you have placed into some host files. So I will show you where exactly those host files are present in the machine itself. So later on, you can see the task is the actual process which you want to perform into your remote machine. So for starting the task, there should be the hierarchy we need to follow. That there might be multiple tasks, so we need to make some child under that task segment, and thereafter some modules are used. So these are some one of the modules, like yum is one of the modules, and similarly we are using another module here again. So we are using module into our playbooks. So in this way, we try to use the modules and the host inventories files into our one single playbook. So this name is nothing but the name of the package which you want to install with this package manager. Call it as yum, and the state represent that what you want to perform with that package. Let's say you want to install the package or you want to remove that package. So there are different various commands, or you can say various states which helps us to fulfill our requirement. Let's say you want to remove any package, so you just need to use some state like absent. So this absent state helps you to remove that package which is already installed into your remote machine. As of now I'm using present, so this present state will help me to install the packages if it is not installed into the remote machine. So similarly, we are doing the one more task here for installing one more package. So let me remove this. Yeah. So again, you can see we are initializing two tasks here by using this hyphen sign. So in this way, we are performing two of the tasks in the one single playbook.
So I can give multiple yum commands if I have a lot of packages, just one below the other.
Yeah, you can do that, but as I said, we have a feature of the Ansible variables. You can define one variables, and under that you just need to provide the packages, multiple packages. And later on you can call it once only in the task segment, and this will try to pull out one variables at a time, and it will try to perform those execution. So this is, you can say, this will makes your playbooks to get well understood, and in a very shorter line of playbooks you can write in this way. So using the variables, you can short up your playbooks lines. So as of now, as I'm sure we can start off with providing the individual task here. So that also will work in our case. But while you get some more following some more standards in the corporates, they usually try to use some variables in that. So they don't use to try multiple tasks. They try to reduce the lines of codes in the task with the help of using the variables functions. Yep, guys, am I clear?
So the variables there would be the name, the state, the hosts,
No, variables will be the same. You can say the thing which are changing all the time, like
the name,
yeah, the name itself, because we might have multiple
different
packages having
packages.
different
Yeah.
different names. So we
Okay.
only define the name of those packages into the variable segment, and the rest
Yeah.
thing will be the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we'll start with setting up the one of the labs, and let me know when my AWS screen is visible. Okay, guys, can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's still loading your page, AWS page. Yeah.
Okay. So as of now, I'm inside the Virginia region. I'm using one of the AWS cloud here. So let's try to spin up a few machines here, and we'll try to hit them by my Mac, or you can say I've already installed the Ansible master in this Mac machine. So I will try to perform some few, and we'll try to perform some few playbooks, and we'll try to use some modules in it, and we'll try to define those into some host files, the information of this remote machine into our host files. We'll show you how this get. You know. So let me first of all show you the default location of the Ansible. So the default location of the Ansible is /Ansible. So this is your default location of your Ansible, where you exactly store all those information of your playbooks and the host files, and the playbooks have been, and the rules have been stored here. So let me take up all these files and move it to some different folder. I've already configured my Ansible master machine here. Okay, now it's clean. So these are the default three files which is available when you install your Ansible, which is present into this location. We call it as /etc// Ansible. So this is the default location where you need to write your playbooks, and you need to store it here, or you can store it anywhere, but you need to again and again call that playbook from that location. And if you don't want to write additional line of command, you can just start writing your playbook into this working directory, which is etc/ansible slash. Okay, so this is the default directory of writing your playbook. So let me show you about these files. So there are three content available. Like one of the roles directory is present here. So under the roles, you just as I've already discussed. So under the roles, you basically provide your playbook in a well structured manner. Like your task section will be different. Your host information will be different. Your variables will be stored into some different YAML files. So in this way, the roles follow some structured way of defining your playbooks. And while writing your simple playbooks, we're going to start with writing our playbook into one single YAML files. So let me show you the host informations here. What this host file does. Basically, this host is nothing but which stores information about your remote machines here. So now we'll try to spin up few machine into our cloud, and we'll try to use some module to ping those remote machine. Okay, let's take for RHEL based machine. Let's say I want to take for three of the machines. Provide some key and value, and there you can see we need to just open only one port, which is SSH, which is running on the port 22. There you can see. I'm deploying three of the machine using my keypad files. What I will do is I will define the name, appropriate name to them. Let's wait for these machines to get initialized. Later on, we need to start with the very basic prerequisite part, which is we need to provide the public IP, or you can say, sorry, public key of the master machine to these remote machines. So we need to make some prerequisite here. So let's wait for these machines to get up and running. So there you can see the IP is generated. So let's try to get the access of it. So I'm using additional tab here.
So you're going to make like
We'll
three
go with,
tabs for the three nodes.
yeah. Okay. The user is the same. So I'm expecting you might have known how to get the access of the AWS machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me open two more tabs here, and we'll get into these machines. Just need to replace the IP, and user is the same for all the machines. In this way, we are now inside the inside our remote machine. So we need to make some prerequisite part here. So for that case, we need to create go to into the root account. So we need to go into the root user. So by using sudo su hyphen, we are inside the root user. And now from here, we need to create a one single user. So let's use user add or add user command to create one user. I'm taking the name for this user as node1, and I will define some password to it. I'm giving it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and thereafter we need to change the sudo vi sudo file. So there in the last line we need to add up some more instructions here. In the last line we need to provide the name of that user, which is node1, and the rest thing we need to paste these lines, because this line will help this user to get the sudo permission here. So whenever this user want to use some sudo, so he can directly use with the help of these permissions. So let's save this. So this thing we need to do it for the rest of the machines. So let's get into the root account and let's add node 2, and we need to put a password to node 2. And just after we have set up the password to that user, we need to do the same thing, adding one line into the last new line, providing the username. Let me copy this. Similarly, we need to go inside the third remote machine. We need to add user with node 3. We are just trying to create one more user into these remote machines, so that this will be easier for Ansible master machine to get access to these to these remote machines. So this is a once a while task we need to do it. So guys, are you there with me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm going into the sudo file again. Node 3 and copy this. Let's save this file here. Yeah. So now we have already configured some prerequisite into our remote machine. Now we need to make some changes into our config Ansible config files. So let's get sudo vi Ansible configs. You should make sure that you have made these few changes into it. So one is to allow the to stop the host key checking. So this is one thing. You should make sure to uncomment this line. This will allow this master machine to every time checking the key for getting the SSH access to those remote machines. So let's save this. Rest of the things are good. Okay. So now we need to get into the host file, which is present in this default directory. Okay. Into this sudo VM. So I've already added few machines informations here. You can see there are some machines IP are given here, and some user and some password are provided here. So in similar way, we'll add up some more machines here, and we'll group them into some certain categories. So I will take node 1 here. We'll define the same syntax. So we have the password 12345. User is node 1. The IP of this first node is, let's get it from here. Similarly, we need to do this same thing for the rest of the machines as well. I'm just copy pasting the rest of the things. I just need to replace the usernames, and the password is same for all the machines, and I just need to replace the IP addresses. I'll take it the second IP of the node 2 machine here, and similarly I will take the third IP of those node machine and we'll paste it into the host files. Okay, let me comment these previous lines because these machines are not now up and running, so it will throw an connection here. I'm just commenting these rest of these groups here. There you can see I have created few groups name here. Yeah, so we have just added only these three information, and the rest of the lines are commented here. And what if we want to create some groups? So for creating a group, like this is new remote. You can say let's say give a new remote, and later on we need to just provide this alias name of this. So this is the alias name, or you can say the alternative name. So instead of calling the host whole IP and the username, we can directly call there via the alias name of that machine. So we have just provided the alias name. So let me show you the syntax of this host machine. So the first thing is you can say the alias name, and second thing is IP, and the third thing is username of that machine, and fourth thing is password of that user. In this way, we have written this host information here. So you should be aware of providing these keys, and the values has been given by your machines as per your according to your machines, and the key should be fixed like your Ansible SSH pass and Ansible user and Ansible host. So this key should be fixed for all the machines. Yes, guys. Are you clear with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. So let's save this. Now we'll try to use some ad hoc command to ping our machine which is provided into the host files here. So let's use Ansible. All is nothing but the thing which I've already told you. The
All
all
the
is nothing
hosts.
but all the host. Yeah.
And what does the -m flag mean?
Okay. -m is basically to represent that we are trying to use the modules here.
Modules. Okay.
So we have forgot one thing again. So we have already configured few settings in the remote machine, but how that remote machine will understand that this Ansible master machine is a genuine machine, and we want to give the access to this master machine. So for that case, we need to share the master machine public key to all those remote machines. So how we can share the public keys? So with the command of ssh copy hyphen id, where we need to provide the information of our machine. So I'm using the first machine information with the username and the public IP. Public. So in this way, I'm just trying to take the username and the IP of that remote copy the public key of this master machine. It will try to paste it into the remote machine, so that the remote machine get understood that this is a well-known machine. We can allow the access of this master machine to perform all such tasks into this remote.
So we're establishing communication between the master and the remote machines.
uh, as of now we are not establishing it, but we can say we are just sharing the some
IP
authenticity to
addresses.
these. Yeah, we are just sharing the authenticity to the remote machine to allow this master machine to perform the task in this machine. Okay, let me do this thing by switching the user. Okay, still the remote machine is not allowing to place the public key of this master. We need to troubleshoot into it. So let me show you few settings to troubleshoot it. Okay, I am now inside to one of the node machine. So let's make some- so we need to make some configuration into the SSH. So for that case, we need to go into these files where the SSH configuration are being stored, because they have secured more way that no none of the rest the user should, or you can say none of the other machine should get access of this. So we
Mhm.
need to make one more changes in it. So there is one password authentication. So we need to make this password authentication to yes, because we are trying to use this authentication to allow the other machine to get access of it. So we have just made this the password authentication to yes into this which is into this configuration file of the SSH file, which is stored into the /etc/SSH.
This is a remote machine, the node 1.
Yeah, this is a remote machine of node 1. So let me switch to node 1 so that you can easily understand. Yeah, we have made these changes. So we have made these changes into one of the remote machine. Now we need to restart the service of the SSH. Yeah. So these two things we need to do it into all of these node machines. Switch the user from root to node 2, and we'll get the file access of that etc ssh config. Under that, for that you can use forward slash. Forward slash will help you to find that content. So we want to go into the password authentication. There you can see it has taken us to that specific line. So you just use,
Make it yes, that's it.
yeah, we need to make it yes, and we need to write this file, and again we need to restart that services. .ssh d. So this is being restarted. Now we need to do the same thing into the inline space.
Third node.
Yeah. So get into the etc where we have stored the SSH configuration. Now we are here. Do yes. Let's save this. Let's restart this SSH service. Yep, there we go. So we are done with the rest of these configurations. Now if we try to do this SSH copy of the ID of this master machine to the remote of the first node, so it should be done. Yeah, now it is asking the password of that node 1 machine. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
yeah, so the default password I have set is 12345. Now it is successfully share the master machine's public key, so that the node 1 machine will understood that this is a well-known machine. We can allow the access, and we can allow to perform all this task into these machines. Similarly, we need to give the same thing of the other machines as well. So let's get the information of the node 2 machine. Yeah, and we need to visit SSH hyphen copy hyphen ID
Node 2
node
at
2 at
the
the rate
rate of
public IP. We need to give it yes. So the password we need to provide it.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Okay.
5.
Yeah. So similarly, we need to do the same thing for the third node as well.
SSH copy
Copy hyphen ID
3.
node 3, and let's copy the IP address from here. So this is once a while, you just need to do it for once, and later on this machine will be well known to these masters, and it will always allow them to perform all those tasks. So we are done with our configurations. Now if you want to test some communication between those, you can do it here. And let me switch the user. Now I want to test the communication between those machines with the help of using ping module. It should give me a revert connection, you can say revert statistic in the form of ping and pong. So let's wait for those. Okay, there you can say the node 1, node 2, and node 3. Everything is getting the successful ping and pong
Pong.
connection. Yeah, if you fill any such command, your syntax will be coming in the red segment. So there it is showing that us in a green segment because we have successfully performed this ad hoc command. So this is one of the ad hoc command you can say, which helps us to perform the simple task to establish the uh, connection between those remote machines. Now similarly there are
So that was
very
the JSON file, right? With the the curly brackets.
yeah, these you can say this is the output file which is visible to you to get understood that your ad hoc command is running properly. So it is in the yeah, it is in the JSON file you can say, but we should be well aware of our task has been running here. So let's say we want to play around with some more ad hoc commands. So like we want to go for system distribution here. So for that case, let's say we want to go for only for first node 1 machine, and we want to check which distribution it is using, giving arguments. I will share you a few ad hoc commands as well,
Sure.
so that you also can play around with it. So in this way, it is trying to hit with the to the first machine of the host file. There you can see we are trying to use the setup command to hit the first node, and we'll try to fetch the system distribution of it. So it will only try to hit to only the first node of that remote machine. Yeah. Okay. There you can see it is successfully pulled out some information of that machine, showing us the distribution of that machine is the red hat. So
Red
this
Hat.
is nothing. Yeah, the one which you have used for deploying this machine into our AWS cloud. So it is showing us the version as well. So which version of Red Hat you are using. So as of now, it is using the Red Hat version 8 operating system here. So similarly, if you want to go for all the host files, or you can say all the host machine, or you can say you want to go for the first two nodes here, you just need to append with the comma, and you can go for the another host information here as well. So it will take a couple of seconds to perform these tasks into those remote machines. Yeah. So let me enlarge this. There you can see we have tried to perform this task for the node 1 and the node 2. So
Mhm.
here you can see it has started doing the task to the node 1. So this got completed here, and later on it has pulled the information for the second node as well. So both are having the same distribution. So the distribution is nothing but to give you an idea about the information of that Linux operating system, of that remote machine.
Mhm.
So similarly, we'll try to go around with some more ad hoc commands. So we have came across with using the module ping module, and we have came across with using the one of the another module. We call it as setup module as of now. Okay, so let's say you want to make some you want to use some different modules like uh, to reboot your remote machines. Yes, guys, are you there with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say I want to reboot node 1 using some HNA arguments, and we'll pass it into the okay. Okay, the permission is changed. So let's use -b. -b is basically to provide to run this command with using the sudo permission. So now with become user will help him to perform this task. Okay, so it has successfully performed the task. Now we'll try to ping those machine, and we'll check the node 1 machine should be not yet up and running because it is still restarting. So let's check the status of the node 1.
Node 1 is unreachable, it's saying.
Yeah, that's why, because we have just now restarted that machine. So if I check it again,
It'll take
so
some time to reboot.
yeah, exactly. So if I check it again, it should show us that machine is now up and running. Yeah, it's still not started. It will take some time to start it. So let's check it again. Yeah, there you can see the node 1, node 3, and node 2.
All three
All
up
the
and
machines
running.
up and running. So this is done with the help of small ad hoc command. So we'll not go into depth. I will assign you few tasks on that, and we'll share you some small chit chat on that. So how to use different ad hoc commands. So let's begin with writing small playbook for deploying few packages into our machines. So let's give a playbook
So if I write YAML or YML, it doesn't matter, right? I can
Doesn't
write
matter.
the one.
Yeah, both are the same. If I give YML, both are the same.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's begin with inserting it. Let's say we want to start writing few few commands, like we want to start with defining the hosts and giving the host information, like you want to hit for all the hosts, and just below the h, or you can say just below the host character, you need to start with providing the task here. So the task is nothing but the thing which you want to perform it into your machine, and you can give any space here. And let's get started with providing the name of your task. Let's say you want to take up some installation of few packages into your machines. We need to give the name of that package.
Below hosts all, what is the next line? I can't read that because it's covered by the that you're speaking, so I can't see it. Is it? Yeah, now I can see tasks. Okay,
Okay.
thanks.
So
Thank you.
I'll just enlarge it. Okay.
Okay, that
Cool.
works.
Yeah. Okay. So now if I want to install some packages, so I will go with yum package, because I know those machine are my RHEL based machine, so they supports the yum package. And later on I need to provide some name here. So what are the name of those packages? Like in my case, I want to go with installing uh, tree command. Tree is one of the packages, and the state will help us to provide what things you want to do with that package. Let's say I want to install that package, so I will
Present.
go for present, or I can use some alternative like latest. Yeah,
Oh,
this
okay.
latest,
The
this
latest version.
latest, yeah, exactly. If your package is already installed, but it is not having the latest version, so
Oh,
this command will help you to install the latest version, as well as if the package is not installed in your machine, at that time also it will try to install the latest version into your machine. So it does both the command as well. So if you give the present, it will only install this package, and if you want to install it the upgraded version, uh, so that time you need to use this state as a latest state. So let's say we want to take up some more tasks here, and we'll go for, so this is a bit complicated because I'm using the terminal itself. You should configure your terminal with your Visual Studio Code.
yeah, that's what I was just thinking, to get the indentation right.
Yeah, I just need to, all the time I need to use tab here, so that this can be represented as the child of these parent structure. I need to use one more yum. You need to provide the name, like you want to install some duplicate package. So these are the two tasks I want to perform into my host machine. And let's say we want to give some playbook name here, so we can give it here above this host information. So let's keep it simple. We'll check the syntax of that. Okay, let's give sudo here. Now it seems like we have written the playbook. So to test our playbook, we need to fire some syntax check command. So to run our playbook, we need to use the Ansible -playbook command, which will help us to check the syntax. Or you can say to execute your playbook, you need to hit with this command, which is Ansible -playbook. And now I want to check the playbook, and uh, and want to later on execute this playbook into my root machine, remote machine. So for checking my syntax of the playbook, we'll use hyphen syntax check, and later on my playbook name. So which is my first playbook. So this is my playbook name. This is the flag which will check my YAML syntax is properly written or not. So yes, we need to provide the sudo permission of this. Okay. So as I said, I was using this vi command. That's why I've missed some syntax issues here. So what I will do is I will make this file into the. Can you see my terminal or vi studio code?
Uh, right now you're on your terminal.
Okay. Okay. Let me start my vi studio code. Okay. Can you see my terminal? Sorry, VS Studio code now.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start writing the playbooks here, and we'll copy paste that into our machine. Let's start with single helper. Okay, we don't require these such information. We can directly start with using that those extensions. Okay, still getting the Kubernetes syntax here.
So I'm supposed to install the Ansible extension on my studio code.
Yeah, if you install it with that,
I
you
will be
can
able to recognize the commands then.
the file view. I've given one tab here, and I'm just trying to give the name to my playbook. So I will give it a name. This is my first playbook. And after that, I just press enter. You can see just below my the first line with using current condition as well. So here I need to provide the information of my host that I'm using for all the hosts, and there later on I need to use the task here. I want to installing 3 packages with the help of yum. The state latest. Similarly, I will copy the same thing and paste it below this. You can see the syntax is looking similar to the previous task. And we'll just change the package name from P to WZ. Yep. Are you there with me, guys? So
Yeah.
now what I will do is basically I will go into that file and I will make all those changes. I will paste it here and save this and we'll check the syntax again. Yeah. Now you can see there is no error in our playbooks. So now if you want to execute our playbooks, we need to use Ansible -playbook. Uh, all all is not required if you are using the default host file. You can directly go for the playbook name. So in this way also you can directly hit into your playbooks. Let's go with this, and we need to use sudo here. There you can see the name which you have provided into our playbook. So that has been visible here, which is this is my first playbook. And under the gathering facts, it will try to gather all the fact of the remote machine, like uh, these machines are running or not, and it will try to gather which type of machine it is, like it is a CentOS based machine or not. So it will check for the rest of those commands. Okay. So there is one error while installing the tree packages. Here you can see this command has to be run under the root user. So we need to make some changes into our playbook. We need to allow this execution to the root user as well. Yes, we need to make become yes will allow us to perform this playbook into the remote as a root user, or you can say as a sudo user. Now we'll again try to run this playbook. So guys, are you there with me? Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were just facing some issue with our previous execution. We had issue with the
Yeah.
execution should run by the root user. So we are allowed to run that playbook into
Yeah.
the remote machine as a root user. Now you can see it is performing the task. These tasks have been now changed. So there you can see they have installed those packages successfully into those machines. So with the change statistics, you can see this change statistics shows us that your both of the tasks has been properly performed into your machine. So in the earlier task, you might have seen that your first task was failed. So the rest task was stopped by default because it doesn't get into the installation of the WP. It immediately stopped when it is found that there is one failure into your first task. So now in our case, in the second time, we have given the sudo permission. So now it has executed the task into the rest of the remote machine. Now we'll check into going into each of these remote machine, and we'll check that tree packages is installed in that machine or not. So let's use tree command. There you can see this tree command is already installed. If we list down to -l layer 3 or layer 2 to slash directory, it will show the tree command. So if I hit the wget command, this is also visible. If I want to pull out the google.com page, so wget command is basically helps like a downloader. So this helps you to download the content from your websites. or anywhere from. There you can see it has pulled out the index.html page of the google.com. This way, if we get into the rest of this machine, so there you can see this is also working for our case. If you want to pull out some google.com page, that will be done with the help of wget command. If I want to get the tree of this, you can see it is now visible here. So it is installed on all the machines. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, Smita, are you there
Hello?
with me? Yes, Joshua, Prabhu. Yeah, yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
Yes,
you.
I'm here.
Okay. So the thing I was just about to say that we have just tried to deploy one playbook, but
Yeah.
installing some uh, pack.
So we've written the playbook
So
in
you
the
should be
master
aware of
machine, and
the
that has
implementation.
helped us in installing the applications in the remote machines.
Yeah, exactly. So we are just into our master machine. I've not accessed any of the remote machine. So still, my
Okay.
all the installation has been done into my remote machine by the help of the Ansible master. Because there we have provided the information of the remote machine in the form of host files. So this is how this works. So you can do anything from this master machine, and you can.
Hello? Hello?
Yeah. Hello, I'm audible.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. So I will assign you few tasks to perform some copy modules. So if you want to copy few things from this master machine, so how you can do that? So let me take up to second playbook to write a simple copy module. So let's get into this. Okay. So the previous things should are the same for all these playbooks. So just you want to copy the modules here. So we just need to use some copy module here. Just give it a name. Copy file from master to remote. Now we need to use copy module here. So what things we want to copy it here? So let's say I want to copy some copy.txt, which is presented to my source file 1.txt, and we want to paste it to the destination, which is nothing but the remote machine location, the temp slash directory. So there I want to.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello. Yes, am I audible?
Yes, I.
Okay, okay.
Hello?
So yeah, so let's try to uh, write a second playbook for using copy modules. There we have written a simple playbook for using the copy module, and we are trying to copy one file from the source machine, which is the Ansible master machine, and it will paste it into the remote machine where the location is under the temp directory. So if I go into the temp So there should be these much files. There you can
Okay.
find any of the files naming with file1.txt. So let's save this. And for that case, we have given the source of the file, which is naming with touch file1.txt, because we need to create one file in this master machine as well. So what it will does, basically it will try to take this file from this master
Okay.
machine, and it will try to paste it into the remote machines. And now let's write the playbook for the, let's execute it for all this into the uh, remote machines. Okay, it started copying the file from master to remote. So let's check the changes have been done or not. Yeah, there you can see there is successfully changes have been done. So guys, are you there with me? Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So if I list down this temp directory, so I should find that file1.txt in this location. There you can see it is pasted in this machine. So similarly, if I will check on the onto the rest of this machine, so it should show us the content of that temp file, and it should there should one file should be existing in that location. There you can see on the second node as well, there is one file one name having the file1.txt is present in that location. So this is how this Ansible playbook works. So I will make you will make you assign some small tasks on that, so that you can perform it well while using these such different modules to it. So guys, any queries, any issues understanding till here? Yes, guys. Yes, guys. Any more queries? So hello,
Yeah. No,
hello. Yeah. So I can hear you. Yeah.
no, we're fine.
Okay, great. Then we'll share you some Ansible ad hoc commands, and you please try to set up those Ansible remote version into your cloud, and just play around it. So this will make you some more exposure to using this Ansible configuration management tool. So guys, I would say thank you for joining. Enjoy learning. Till then, bye bye. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.